Now let's get the inside track on the business of online learning. Andrés Moreno's founded his language startup 6 years ago, helped by US funding after local Latin American investors turned him down. His firm uses the cloud to let you, the student, learn English online anytime. It's 24/7, with teachers joining you via online tools or Skype, so you can get tapes, CDs. He's tapping into an increasingly middle-class market within Latin America, and Andrés is with us in the studio. Welcome.
Hello,
now, as
Sally.
I read
Thanks
that
for the
out
invitation.
loud, saying 6 years, it's more than 6 years, isn't it? I do
It's
apologise.
10, we're getting old. Yeah.
It's 10.
That's a lot of years in EdTech.
I'm forever young, Andrés.
Yeah.
So just tell us then about how this works, because you're Venezuelan, you started in Venezuela, and it was doing extremely well there and growing pretty quickly.
Well, you know, we started in Venezuela. I'm Venezuelan, as you said. But fortunately, we share a common tongue with 400 other million people, right? So we quickly expanded to the rest of Spanish-speaking Latin America, a few years later into Brazil. And today we cover all of Latin America. So that's over 650 million people that we're getting to. And that, as you said, the service is targeting the emerging middle class in the region, right? Everybody who wants to learn a language. That the alternative, and we were talking a little bit about this before, is to go to a highly priced offline school. You have to get in traffic, drive there. The teacher's not native. They give you the old books and photocopies, and you become an expert in grammar, but have a very hard time speaking. So we solve that by going online and having live tutors.
When I initially looked at your business and read about this earlier today, I thought to myself, there's so many companies that do this, aren't there? It's not that innovative. And also, there's also apps. I mean, everywhere you look, I see advertising often on the London Underground and in other places, you know, learn French in 3 months via this app, through this audio system or whatever. I thought it was a very common tool in many ways, but where you started and where you sort of spread rapidly, this was quite an innovation?
Well, I just had a deja vu when I was trying to raise money for this in Silicon Valley 10 years ago, because that's what people thought back then. Said, hey, there's free apps where you could go to YouTube and get a free video, or you could go to an offline school and get, you know, your education there. And what we found is that there's a space in the middle that's very valuable, because people want the convenience of studying online anytime, anywhere, but they want the high quality and the personal touch of having a teacher, which actually is better to have them online. You can be there in your pajamas at 3 a.m. You can't sleep. You just turn on your Open English app. You're going to have a live instructor there with you anytime.
But you have to subscribe for a year minimum, and it's not cheap either, is it? Does that put people off, you think, that 1 year commitment? I must admit it would maybe put me off, because I don't know if I can see this through for 12 months.
Yeah. Well, first of all, learning a language takes time. Unfortunately, it's like getting fit and going to the gym. I could sell you a 1 month package, but the reality is if you want to run a marathon, you have to actually commit for some time, and a year at least is what you need to start gaining that fluency in English. And actually, you spoke about the price. By comparison to an offline school, if you go to some of the brands you might know in Latin America, it's $3,000 to $5,000 a year. So $40, $50 a month for unlimited access to live instructors is quite a deal.
But ironically, you're starting an old-fashioned school, aren't you? Or you started a few in Bogota, so you're sort of blending the virtual world with the real world.
Yeah. So back to the future. So what's interesting? We now have over 750,000 students all over the region that have enrolled in Open English, and that's a lot of football fields full of people learning English, right? Or a lot of small classrooms. But we realize that there's a segment of the population that still wants to have an offline experience. What does that mean? They want the social experience of being there with others. They think that they'll be more disciplined if they go to an actual physical location, be more motivated. I understand it. Like, I love Peloton, so I do that at home. But sometimes I want to actually go to a spinning class, right, and actually get that energy, the music. And that's what we provide at our new Open English centers. We have the first 2 in Bogota, and you can get a blended experience that's seamless. So you can study online or offline with the same sort of progress tracking and tools.
All right. It's been great to meet you. It's been fascinating.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming in.
Yeah.
Good to have you on the program.
Thank you very much.